Okay, so this is our story about our son. Backstory, he was being transferred to the district next to us, not the one we live in. And I remember I went to pre-K there after his very first pre-K conference, so like a month into school. I called my husband just bawling because they were already talking about holding him back and he's not where he should be, and which we kind of knew, like we knew his speech was behind and stuff, but we didn't know he was like that far behind. So we talked with the school. We decided to hold him back and not offer any services that first year. So fast forward to the next year, he's at the same school. We think everything's going fine. His conferences are good. And then all of a sudden we get a call in like January saying that they've tested him and they wanted us to come in to like talk with them about what they found. So long story short, they put him on an IEP, and he was supposed to have OT, PT, speech, and special ed classes. And so this is March. So the school said, we're not going to start any of the services except for speech until next year. When he comes here next year, we'll start those. And we thought, okay, that's fine. I mean, like from January to his IEP, like we prayed over this little boy so much, and we asked so many people to pray over him and just that he could get the services that he needs. And so that happened in March. So we thought everything was fine. He was going to be at the same school. July, like 4 weeks before school's supposed to start, we get a letter in the mail saying that his transfer was denied. And I was like, this can't be true. Like, we just talked to his whole school. We had this whole plan for this year. Why is this happening? And so we went on. So I called the school. I tried calling the school. No one answered. So I went up to the school and I talked to someone. And I was bawling in their office. And I was like, I don't understand why this is happening. Like, we had all this stuff set out for him. We had this entire plan for him for this year. Why is this happening? And they basically said, your son needs too many services and that we denied his transfer. He can't come here. I was heartbroken. Josh was heartbroken. Like, we were bawling. We didn't understand. Like, we'd gone through all this time and we had this plan for him, and I thought God had this plan for him, and so we were so confused as to why this was now happening. And I was calling my friends, bawling. I came home, and my best friend was here with the kids, and she didn't understand either. She was just as mad as I was. But everyone kept telling me, like, maybe that wasn't God's plan. Maybe God has a better plan for Jensen. Which I know is true, but when you're in the moment and it's your kid and you're there, like, it's so hard to see that happening. It's so hard because we thought we had a plan for him. So fast forward a month, Jensen starts at his new school. We go to the IEP meeting. We meet all of his teachers and everyone who's going to be helping him, and they are amazing. They're so positive. They're focusing on what Jensen is doing, not what he's not doing. And it's just great. We love it. And so as the school year goes on, we're still loving everything that they're doing. They changed his IEP, but I think they changed it for the better. They took out some stuff and added some stuff, and me and Josh both agreed that we really liked what they were doing. A couple months into school, the special ed teacher came out and said, hey, he kind of does better like one-on-one. So I rearranged my schedule so that he can come by himself. And it's like, his old school they would not have had the capacity to do that. There was way too many kids. And any big school would not be able to do that. And so we were like, this is huge. This is a big deal. I mean, he's basically getting one-on-one tutoring. And so fast forward a couple more months, she walks him out to the car one day, and you're like, oh no. When someone walks your kid out to the car, that's not a normal person. You always worry, like, what did they do at school today? And she said, I sent a paper home, but I just had to tell you, like, he tested out his reading level today. And we weren't sure if that would ever happen. Like, not ever happen, but it wouldn't happen for a couple years. We did not think it would happen the first year of him getting services 4 months into school, that he would be testing at his grade level. And so it was a huge deal for us. We were super excited, and we were praising him. And, it was really hard at first to understand like what God's plan was, because we thought we had a plan, but God had better plans. And the plans that God had were way better than his old school, and Jensen's doing way better now than he would have at his old one. So I just encourage anyone who's going through something, or you think you have a plan, like, plans change, and sometimes, like, it's a good thing that they change. So if you're struggling, like, just remember that God is always there, and he does always have a plan. But I also encourage you, like, to have friends or a church that you can go to. My friends and our family, they're who got me through this. I mean, I called them crying, I don't know, more times than I can count. And every time they just, encouraged me and said, God has a plan. Like, don't stress. Like, God will take care of it. And he did. And so that's my encouragement to you guys, is just keep moving forward. Just remember that sometimes God's plan is bigger than the ones that we make for ourselves or think we have for ourselves.